Well, good evening, everyone. This is State Representative Brad Halbrook coming to you on our Tuesday night live roundtable and town hall live stream. Looks like I'm flying solo here for a little bit tonight. So I appreciate everybody jumping on. It's a busy week back in Springfield. And so, hey, let us know where you're viewing from tonight, where you're tuning in from. Like to see where everybody's coming in. I see Tom's writing in. Let us know that you're out there and kind of where you're seeing this from. And again, guys, we appreciate you joining in. Again, tonight is a busy night in Springfield. We started at a session was supposed to start at noon, got started about 12:30. Committee action picked up shortly thereafter. And I just got a text from Chris, and he's still in committee. We got a lot of members still in committee tonight. I was out about 5:10, I guess, was my committee, the last one adjourned for the day. And so, anyhow, I know you're probably looking for your favorite state rep, and they're not here. They're in Springfield tonight doing committee work. So, guys, again, I just appreciate you tuning in to what we call truth, logic, and common sense as we will continually be in hot pursuit of truth, logic, and common sense. So, again, like always, we appreciate that you tune in, that you like, you share, you follow, and you subscribe to our content and let everyone else out there know what's going on. So, we build this tonight as the tale of two governors. If you remember, Governor DeSantis from Florida was in Illinois. I think it was the middle of February, just a few weeks ago. I think he was actually on a law enforcement recruiting mission, and he was offering up some fairly nice bonuses for law enforcement that would move to Florida. And I think that call has been really, really well received. I'm not sure that many folks need much incentive to move to Florida. I don't know. It seems like the numbers are something like 800,000 people a year are moving to Florida. But, Governor Santos has been pretty strong when it comes to law and order. And we got a slide here. I got a few slides that I was hoping to have some of my colleagues join in with us this evening. But if not, I'm going to share with you what we've got here. And again, this is the tale of two governors. And this is just kind of really highlighting some contrast between the Illinois governor and the governor of Florida, the state that everyone seems to be flocking to. So here's our first slide. Tale of two governors, DeSantis versus Pritzker. So with that, we'll get right into it. So when you look at the fiscal comparison, and guys, feel free to comment. I'm going to try to watch the slide, watch the comments, and if we can respond, and I will. And like I say, maybe before this is all over with, we'll have some of my colleagues join me if they get out of committee in time. And I know they want to be here tonight. It's just this committee stuff is happening. And just as we get into that, this week is committee deadline week. So to get House bills out of committee and to the floor for a full vote, they got to be out by Friday afternoon, Friday. And so that's why there's hundreds, if not thousands, of bills that have been signed to committee, and they're trying to work those through. And committees just run long, they run late, just lots of delays, and that's just the way Springfield is. So anyhow, back at the ranch. The fiscal comparison between Florida and Illinois is pretty stark here. DeSantis, the state of Florida, ranks 20th. Pritzker in Illinois is 44th. Cato wrote here that Governor DeSantis vetoed over $3 billion in spending, used surpluses for temporary tax increase in an already low tax state. I mean, there's no personal income tax there. And we kind of got hit because he didn't make the tax cuts more permanent like some other states did. On the other hand, Pritzker, did the 2019 tax increases, nearly 20 different taxes and fee increases, doubled the gas tax in 2019 with an annual accelerator due to inflation that happens the 1st of July every year. And, just the massive out-migration that goes on. And Cato goes on to say here, Pritzker seems oblivious that Illinois faces a crisis as workers, entrepreneurs, and retirees decamp to warmer, lower tax states. IRS data show that Illinois has the worst ratio in to out migration of any other state except New York. So that's quite a stunning statement there. So as we move on to the next slide, It talks about crime, and as I mentioned moments ago, Governor DeSantis was on a multi-state tour there the middle of February. Came to Illinois, talked to law enforcement officers, offering an incentive to come to Florida. But this statistic here is really, really telling. Crime in Florida, a 50-year low. Murder rate in Florida down 14%, robbery down 17%, and motor vehicle theft down 6.4%. And of course, in Chicago and Illinois, especially Chicago, the numbers are just nearly the opposite of that. Crime went up 41% between 2021 and 2022. And of course, Chicago's homicide rate is much, much higher, even than New York and LA of the last 11 years, as reported by WirePoints. Interesting website you might want to check out called heyjackass.com. Talks about the different things that are going on in Chicago with crime and the murder rate, and gives kind of a stunning narrative on what's really, really happening up there. Next slide. So, education. Again, this is pretty important, and you've heard Representative Wilhour and myself and others, Jed Davis, as we've done a press conference a couple of weeks ago about education funding, the education um, funding reform that was enacted 5, 6 years ago. But when it comes to the academic achievement, Florida is getting way more bang for their buck than Illinois. As you can see here, Illinois spends 75% more on public education than Florida does. And the test scores are dramatically different on the NAEP score. And again, you can go to the website. You guys don't believe us, just go to the website, just look up the National Assessment of Educational Progress, and you can see the scores there. And then when it comes to educational choice, and I'm a firm believer, as many other are, that competition is good for everyone, and giving people a choice is really, really important, no matter what the matter is. Florida ranks first when it comes to educational choice, and I'm kind of surprised here. Illinois is 17th. So that's kind of an interesting slide. Next slide we'll get to kind of some quick hits. It says Florida is the top in migration. I mean, billions, literally billions of adjusted gross income has flowed into that state the last 24 plus years. And like I say, I think the last numbers I saw was roughly 800,000 people a year are flocking to Florida. Illinois has been an out migration state for the last 9 years. You've probably seen all the graphics about U-Haul and some other carriers, and how the cost to rent a U-Haul from Chicago to Dallas is dramatically higher than renting a U-Haul from Dallas back to Illinois. I think maybe we've seen numbers 4 to 5 times the rate to get some of those units from Illinois into Texas and many other states. It's really, really dramatic. The other part too is college education. The cost of attending an Illinois university. There at the very bottom of that graphic, it talks about combined 2 and 4 year schools, over $26,000 to educate our students in the state of Illinois, compared to just under $11,000, both the 2 and 4 year universities in Florida. So again, a very, very, very stunning statistic when it comes to these kind of numbers. Next slide here talks about classroom instruction. The Governor DeSantis signed a bill banning this type of instruction by school personnel or third parties on sexual orientation or gender identity. May not occur in kindergarten through grade 3, or in a matter that is not age appropriate or developmentally appropriate for students in accordance with state standards. Pritzker, on the other hand, signed a bill allowing for, in some cases, and mandating gender discussions beginning in kindergarten and beyond. So a dramatic, vast difference between these two states when it comes to things like that. And again, the freedom ranking by Cato, Florida is second and Illinois is 37th. So maybe that's why Florida is a freer state. People are flocking there in droves, along with many other low or no tax states. Alabama, Georgia, some the Carolinas, Tennessee, Texas, Arizona. they're the recipient of the bad policy coming out of Illinois. So, guys, with that, I just wanted to give you kind of a quick comparison. Those are just a few things. And again, you can find us here all over the web, IllinoisFreedomCaucus.org, and on the Facebook site. And if you feel led to contribute to us, you can do that to help us keep this torch of freedom and liberty burning all across this great state as we continue to expand our message and continue to meet with people all over. Guys, we'd love to come into your area to do a live town hall, an in-person town hall sometime later this spring or this summer or even into the fall. So if you'd like to do that, you can reach out to us at IllinoisFreedomCaucus.org, drop us an email and let us know about that. And we would love to come and do that for you. So, guys, with that, just a real quick hit here this evening, just a few minutes. Again, I was hoping that maybe some of my colleagues would get out of committee in time to be on with us, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen. So again, please like and share and follow and subscribe to our content, whatever page that you're finding this on, and let us know how we're doing and how we can be of service to you. We'll have more coming out as things move along this spring. But again, that's what we have for tonight. With that, I'm going to sign off, say good evening, and talk to you real soon.